Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky. Good morning. I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky. Thank you so much for being here. We are all living lucky.
Isn't that right?
Today we're talking about options.
Ooh.
Mostly because Jason and I have been sitting in a financial class for the last 3 days and learned things that I didn't even know I should be learning about.
I know. So I was wondering, are we going with just the options that we have in life, or if we're talking financial options? But I guess they're kind of all the same.
You don't know what you don't know.
Right. I love it.
And we show up at this, it's for traders, it's for stock traders. And we showed up to this conference starting on Friday morning. I learned so many things, mostly about options. I came from the old school approach where you invest in the stock market and then you just hold it and you kind of
Just hope it goes up.
You hope that the stocks go up.
Ride it out. The stock market always comes back and it always gains.
Yeah, it's a long-term approach.
Yeah. Too big to fail.
We're in it for the long haul. That's kind of what it is.
Oh, all the little stuff in the middle that you don't know anything about.
Right?
I spent the whole weekend talking to Mike and Hugh, my best friends from high school. And a third of that weekend, we spent literally talking about stocks.
And did anyone mention options?
No, we didn't mention options, futures, puts, or
Forex.
Or what's the other thing?
Here's the
puts and calls
and covered calls and naked calls. I'm like,
Hello.
Oh my gosh, let's get naked.
I've been called naked, but I've never had a naked call.
I have. Or maybe you haven't, and you just didn't know it.
Yeah,
From me, probably.
I didn't pick up the sign.
Heck, I'm naked now. I don't have any pants on.
I guess I've got options.
I'm like Donald Duck. I walk around without pants.
I'm so glad you went Donald Duck, because I always reference Porky Pig, and that wouldn't have gone over well.
Oh, if you call me a pig, you're going to be sleeping on the couch, mister. Okay,
no
so
options.
Anyway, we learned about options. And what's so great about options is that it doesn't matter if the stock market is going up or if the stock market is going down.
Or sideways.
Or it's stagnant. You can make money in any direction. You just have to know the knowledge. And it's the same in life. Circumstances happen, events happen, and everything in life has a positive and a negative. That's science.
That's
it's
how you're
protons,
capitalizing on it.
neutrons.
How are you using it to work in your favor?
And what Jason and I like to do is, those things that we have labeled in our brains as negative circumstances, we like to reframe that and say, okay, wait a minute. How is this working for you? Because in our opinion, God is always working through you, for you, and always in your favor. And sometimes these challenges that we face in life, or what in our heads we think are obstacles, are actually little gifts. They're little blessings to teach us something that we need in order to get to the next level of life.
Yeah, I'll go with the old cliche. You think it's a setback, but it's a setup. It's a setup for that next step. How are you going to grow? How are you going to be resilient? Are you persistent enough, and does it matter enough for you to take the next step, to get back up off the ground again?
Because we all have options.
Yeah.
The problem is that sometimes something happens and we start feeling sorry for ourselves.
Well, or one thing that just came to my mind is we start thinking life's going downhill or something's going downhill. And then
it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. And instead of figuring out, okay, how's this working for me? What's this teaching me? We just pivot and turn somewhere else. It's kind of like in the old school trading mentality where you're like, I'm just going to buy the stock and just hope that it goes up. I'm going to do my research on the company.
And we do that in life.
And just hope that they do well and the stock prices improve on that.
Oh my God, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I sound like Emerald.
Bam, boom.
I know.
Or a Batman comic.
But you just lit a light bulb in my head, because that's pretty much what people do. Is things start going down in the dumps, they start heading toward this doom loop, and they just sit and hope and wait and think, well, you know what? Time Time will tell, and eventually it's going to start going back up. But the more you focus on the doom, the more doom you create.
You just start heading downhill. And if you pivot,
the universe is testing us.
If you know that what you're doing is something that is you're passionate about and is part of your dream, and then you pivot, you've basically just said, okay, I'm getting out of the market and I'm going to go get into the market somewhere else. And you're going to start over again, and you're going to hit that same resistance point, that same shelf. And then you're going to be like, oh, it's hard here. I'm going to pivot again. And you just find yourself in life always going down this road and stopping where that resistance hits at your comfort level. Yes. And you never learn to grow past it. You never learn to peek over the fence and see what's available.
And it's not until you lean in and say, you know what? I'm going to face this, whatever you want to call it, whether it's a plateau, a demon, an obstacle, a resistance, a pain point, something inside us. It may be an invisible paradigm. It's like, wait a minute, why do I keep hitting this ceiling?
And it's probably just a thought. That's what's crazy is it's probably just a thought
in your subconscious mind.
Somebody threw out there one day, you said, I'm going to subscribe to that thought. I'm going to hold that thought as my own, and I'm going to call it a belief. And now I'm going to start looking for the evidence that proves that belief.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And so you just now have this little bank, this safe deposit box of evidence saying, yep, that's true. That's true. When you can literally just clean that box out and open the box of gold where you can look back and see all the success and all the places in life where it really wasn't true. You just weren't looking for it to be true.
And we don't know what we don't know. We started like that.
That's so huge.
It's not until you sign up for a conference and you get there and all of a sudden your eyes are opened to new possibilities.
Amen. And then you're living lucky.
And then next thing you know, you're like, wow. And here's the thing. When you're exposed to new information, you can process it in a couple different ways. Now, this room had 180 people in it. I guarantee you 125 of them at lunch would say things like, if only I would have known this when I was a teenager.
If only I had a little bit more money and could do something about this.
Why didn't I know this 5 years ago? How come nobody has taught me this? Well, our reticular activating system we weren't ready to learn it.
We didn't even know to look for it.
We weren't ready to learn it. Timing is everything. And we have to get to a level in life where we not only ask for it, we want it, but our decisions lead us to the nuggets of gold.
And that's why it's so important to have one of your options be that you have people that are way outside of your current level of thinking that you can go meet with and go have discussions with. That are so up leveled from you. Like you're like, I don't have any business being in this room because these people know more than I do. They make more than I do, and they travel more than I do, or whatever. True. So if you don't have that as one of your options, like that doorway to walk through somewhere, that's something to set up immediately, because then you start hearing the things and seeing the things that you didn't even know to look for.
Yes.
Because that's what the 1% do, and the 1% of the 1% do.
I want to be a 1%er.
I want to be a 1% of the 1%er.
Okay, I want to be the cream of the cream of the crop.
That's right.
Not just the cream of the crop.
I don't want to be the cream of the crap. I want to be the cream of the crop.
Oh, don't even put that out there. Wait,
wipe that up.
We're in the middle of the conference, and the speaker accidentally uses the term excrement.
Yeah.
He was trying to use exponentially in increments. He kind of mixed those two words.
Increments.
And he said excremental. And of course, the only person in the room out of 180 people who picks it up is my husband, Jason.
I'm like, I'm going to use that, because if you're tired of getting excremental results,
stop.
You need to get exponential results. And we want to help you get exponential results, not excremental results that you're used to.
Oh my gosh. Back it up, Shelfer. That's just a crappy phrase. At any rate, options. We all have options in life, and it's how we perceive it and which way we choose to move forward.
Yeah. The other thing is sometimes you have to pay a premium for it, and you don't always have to exercise your options, but having them and recognizing them
freedom.
Is freedom. Yes. Thank you.
Options equals freedom. And it's in almost every area of life. We have the option. I mean, even in a relationship, you have the option always to go wherever you want to go. And here's the thing, because you have that freedom, you don't feel trapped.
And I also have the trust. And trust is something that you build. And I have the option also every single moment to look for the good and look for the reasons why I love this relationship, or I can look for reasons why it's not working out.
Options. No matter what happens in life, there's always a positive, there's always a negative. It's how we perceive it.
And that's how you
and
play the
how
game.
we choose to move forward.
Because that's how the game is played.
Get in the game.
Keep living lucky.
Get in the game. Thanks for joining us.
Everybody.
Everybody. We have listeners from 80.
It's almost 90 countries.
90 countries.
It's 800 cities.
90 countries. And we're headed to Miami this weekend, where we will be seeing a lot of those listeners.
That's right.
So thank you to the Mind Valley community, which has supported us beyond. I greatly appreciate you. Have a great day. Bye-bye. If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.